common questions. If you're a HR person out there in the field, maybe you're a HR business partner, you also could be a HR administrator or generalist that just wants to use Copilot to help them with various questions. So I'm going to show you some examples of these now, and I'm going to do this in Teams instead of going into the Copilot UI. You can also use Teams Mobile. So you could do the same questions through Teams Mobile, the same way you do it on the desktop here. And I'm going to ask these questions. So first off, I just want to know the policy on vacation and sick leave. So there's a couple of different answers here. So it gives me the option which one I'm actually looking for. So I can pick, where is the vacation policy? And then it provides me the link. I can click on it and it's going to open up, take me straight in to the vacation policy. I can read it through. Could follow up and say, can you explain the vacation policy to me? And it will pull out those details. But in this example, it was more about just trying to find the vacation policy. Where do I find that? Next one here is a common one where maybe you have an employee that has a performance issue and the manager has reached out to their HR business partner and they've asked for assistance on how they can help them through that process. So this is generative AI now, and it's going to show me a job aid. So what we've done here is we've got a job aid already published on the portal. Dovetail HR Copilot has indexed that content, and then what it can do is on the fly, any questions about that policy or that article, it can provide those answers in what's called generative AI. It generates an answer on the fly. And so it's opened up here the manager and HR guide, and it's got all of the steps listed. But you'll notice in the MS Teams side of it, it was just giving me the highlights of the steps, and I could click on the source and actually look at the full content if I needed to. This next example here is I'm an HR person. I want to look up the pay group for an employee. So again, every step through this is checking that I have access to this content. You can't log in as an employee and say, hey, I'd like to look up pay group for my friend. That's not, it's just going to say you don't have access to this type of data. So as a HR person, you can ask these questions. And here's an example. So, can you give me the pay group for an employee, please? It first checks that I have access to it. It's checking your user permissions, access confirmed. Okay, give me the employee ID that you want to look up. And then I've put that in, and now it's given me Logan McMill's pay group. And I'll just put in one more employee here just to show you a different example. So again, put in the employee ID, and it's going to go check Adam's pay group here. This next one here is looking up a manager. I'm interested to know who Adam's manager is. Again, I could go and click into the HR system if you've got this published, or maybe you've got an org chart somewhere, but it just takes time to do those things when I can just simply type in, hey, give me the manager details for an employee. The employee's ID is 21237. And here we go. Here's Adam's manager. It's Logan. So now let's look up Logan's manager. So Logan's manager, put her ID in. And this information that's coming up, it can actually, again, provide the employee IDs as well. I've just left those out and just provided the manager name, the email, and the phone number. And then the final one here for HR. HR often gets involved, obviously, when a manager wants to look at terminating an employee. And now this is where it gets really clever. If I'm a HR person in the US, there's different policies around the different states. If I were based in the UK, there's a completely different policy for terminating someone. You've got to go through a lot of different steps. So this is a generic termination example here, but you can create, you have your different policies for your different regions, and Copilot will know what region I'm asking the question about. So I'm a HR business partner for the UK region. It's going to give me the right steps for that process versus a US. Or it could first say, well, what's the employee you're looking to terminate? Check their region and then give me the policy that I need to follow for that. So in this example, it was really about again, a generative AI looking at a job aid, providing an on-the-fly list of steps, an 8-step process there, and I could click on the source and actually see that information and read the whole policy. I could download it into a PDF, print it out if I needed to, for example.